Welcome back to the channel where we talk all things coins, currency, and collectibles. If you love rare finds, coin history, and discovering treasure in your own pocket, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now, let's talk about the 1978 Washington quarter dollar and how some of these coins are worth far more than face value, some even into the rarest coins. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932. It was originally issued to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse features a profile of George Washington, while the reverse from 1932 to 1998 depicted an eagle with outstretched wings. Now fast forward to 1978. This was the last year the Washington quarter had its original reverse design before it was changed in 1999 with the introduction of the 50-state quarters program. So right away, 1978 stands out as a transitional year, which always attracts collectors. In 1978, over 1.6 billion Washington quarters were struck. Around 521 million from Philadelphia, 315 million from Denver, and 3.1 million proof coins from San Francisco. So it's not a rare coin in general. You can find 1,978 quarters in circulation even today. But, as with any coin, not all were struck perfectly. Some had mint errors. Some were struck on the wrong metal planchets, and some survived in pristine, untouched condition. That's where the real value comes in. So where does this story of a $1.5 million quarter come from? In the numismatic world, rumors of insanely valuable coins sometimes spread based on rare auction results or unique specimens with extreme rarity. The supposed $1.5 million 1978 quarter is said to be a unique error coin or a highly graded, pristine specimen with an extraordinary story behind it. While there are no public records of a 1978 quarter officially selling for exactly $1.5 million, coins with extreme rarity or provenance have fetched similar figures. So it's possible this coin was sold privately or is being hyped up by speculative collectors. One thing is certain. If a 1978 quarter did sell for $1.5 million, it wasn't your average quarter. It was either a dramatic mint error, a unique prototype, or one of the highest graded coins known to exist. Let's talk about what makes a 1978 Washington quarter valuable. Here are a few things to look for. 1. Mint errors. This includes off-center strikes, double dies, coins struck on the wrong planchet like a dime or nickel planchet, and coins with clipped planchets. These can range from a few hundred to thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and uniqueness. 2. Proof coins. These are struck in San Francisco with a mirror-like finish and are not meant for circulation. If you find a 1978 S-proof coin that somehow ended up in circulation or has a mint error, that can be quite valuable. 3. High-grade coins. Coins graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can sell for hundreds or even thousands, especially if the surfaces are flawless, the strike is sharp, and there's no wear. Some 1978 D quarters in MS67 condition have sold for over $1,040. Wrong planchet errors. These are especially valuable. Imagine a 1978 quarter struck on a 40% silver planchet left over from the 1976 bicentennial sets. That would be incredibly rare and valuable. There have also been finds of 1978 quarters struck on nickel planchets which are worth thousands. The good news is you don't need fancy equipment to start. Grab a magnifying glass, a good light source, and a reference guide or coin app. Check for doubling on the letters and numbers, check for unusual weights, and look at the coin edges. Anything that seems off might be worth investigating. If you think you've found something rare, your next step should be sending the coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade or error designation can massively increase the coin's value and marketability. Absolutely. Even if you don't find $1 million coin, you'll be surprised how many quarters are worth more than face value. And 1978 is one of those sleeper years. Tons were made, so people overlook it. But with errors, high grades, and end-of-era appeal, it has potential. Plus, coin collecting is a great hobby. It's educational, it's exciting, and sometimes, it's surprisingly profitable. So, could your 1978 Washington quarter be worth a fortune? Maybe not $1.5 million. Unless it's an ultra-rare error, but some examples are definitely worth hundreds or even thousands. It all comes down to condition, rarity, and whether it has any minting anomalies. Now it's your turn. Grab your coin jars, check your pocket change and look closely. You might just be holding on to a small piece of treasure. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below if you've got a 1978 quarter, and subscribe for more rare coin finds and collecting tips. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. If you'd like, I can also turn this into a downloadable script or help with a thumbnail title and description to go with it. Let me know. Welcome back to the channel where we talk all things coins, currency, and collectibles. If you've ever looked at your pocket change and wondered if any of those coins could be worth a small fortune, you're not alone. And today's topic might just send you digging through every quarter you can. Rarest coins. We're talking about the 1966 Washington quarter. At face value, it's just 25 cents. But in one case, a 1966 quarter is rumored to have sold for as much as $1.7 million. That's right, one coin, a $quarter, worth more than the average house. So, what's going on here? What makes this coin so valuable, and could you possibly have one like it? Let's dig into the history, the mintage, the rare airs, and everything you need to know. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932. It was originally created to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The design by John Flanagan featured a left-facing profile of Washington on the obverse and an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. This design remained mostly unchanged until 1999. Now let's zoom in on the year 1966. This was a very interesting time in the history of American coinage. In 1965, the U.S. Mint made a major change. Due to rising silver prices and coin hoarding across the country, the Mint stopped using 90% silver in dimes and quarters. Instead, starting in 1965, all quarters were struck on copper-nickel-clad planchets. That meant no more silver content in quarters going forward. The 1966 Washington quarter was part of this early clad era. Because of the coin shortage that had started in the early 1960s, the U.S. Mint also decided to stop putting mint marks on coins during 1965, 1966, and 1967. The idea was to discourage hoarding based on mint origin. So, any quarter from 1966 won't have a P for Philadelphia or a D for Denver. Every coin looks almost identical at first glance. The U.S. Mint produced over 821 million quarters in 1966, and most of those were released into circulation. With such high mintage, the average 1966 quarter is still only worth face value unless it's in exceptional condition or has a very rare error. Now you're probably asking, if the coin is common, how did one reportedly sell for $1.7 million? Let's get into that. The record-breaking value tied to this coin likely came from a combination of several rare features. While the exact coin that supposedly sold for $1.7 million is not part of any publicly recorded auction, many in the numismatic world believe it was a unique or extremely rare mint error, possibly struck on a silver planchet from the pre-1965 era. It may also have been a presentation piece or a coin with a highly unusual origin that adds massive historical and collector value. There's also a possibility that it was struck using leftover silver blanks by mistake. While officially all 1966 quarters were clad, rare mistakes during coin transitions do happen. Imagine a 1966 quarter struck on a leftover 90% silver planchet. That would instantly become one of the rarest transitional errors in U.S. coin history and could command an astronomical price from collectors. Let's talk about what kinds of 1966 quarters are known to carry serious value. First, high-grade coins. If you have a 1966 quarter in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, known as mint state, it could be worth far more than face value. Coins graded MS-67 or MS-68 by professional services like PCGS or NGC are extremely rare. In fact, one 1966 quarter graded MS-68 sold for over $10,000 at auction. The cleaner the surfaces, the sharper the strike, and the fewer the marks, the higher the grade, and the higher the value. Second, look out for mint errors. These are the real treasures hiding in plain sight. Some of the most valuable 1966 quarters have the following types of errors. Double die errors where parts of the coin's design appear doubled, especially around the date or lettering. These can increase the coin's value dramatically depending on how visible the doubling is. Off-center strikes where the coin was not properly aligned during minting. If the design is significantly shifted to one side, the coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on how dramatic the error is. Wrong planchet error is where the coin was struck on a blank intended for another denomination or metal composition. This is one of the most valuable error types. If you ever find a 1966 quarter that appears silver in color or weighs differently than it should, it could be struck on a silver planchet. Standard clad quarters weigh about 5.67 grams. A silver planchet would weigh around 6.25 grams. That weight difference could be worth thousands or more. Clipped planchets, broad strikes, brockages, and strike-throughs are all other mint errors that collectors go crazy for. Each error is unique, and the value depends on rarity, visual appeal, and severity. Now here's another detail many collectors overlook. In 1966, the U.S. Mint produced special mint sets instead of proof sets. These SMS coins were better struck than regular circulation coins and often had a shinier, higher quality finish. They weren't quite proof quality, but they were certainly better than standard coins. Some of these 1966 special mint set quarters are very valuable in high grades. A flawless SMS quarter graded SP68 or higher could be worth several hundred or even a few $1,000s. So how do you know if your 1966 quarter is worth something? Start with the basics. Look at the condition. If it looks uncirculated, has full details, and shines like it's brand new, that's a good sign. Then check for errors. Use a magnifying glass to look for any doubling, off-center designs, or unusual marks. Weigh the coin if it feels off. A regular 1966 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. Anything more or less could indicate something rare. And if you're seriously curious about a coin's value, the best step you can take is to send it to a professional grading company. Certification gives your coin credibility and can skyrocket its market value if it turns out to be something rare. Let's wrap it up with the most important takeaway. Most 1966 quarters are common, but a small number are not. A rare mint error, a high-grade specimen, or a transitional mistake from the silver era could turn your pocket change into a 6- or 7-figure payday. So, is it possible that a 1966 Washington quarter sold for $1.7 million? While that number hasn't been confirmed through public auction houses, coins of exceptional rarity, condition, and historical importance have absolutely sold for that much or more. And in the coin world, anything is possible, especially with a coin from a year as transitional and mysterious as 1966. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare quarters and hidden coin value, give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment below if you've got a 1966 quarter in your collection. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos about rare coins and the fascinating stories behind them. Keep your eyes open, check your change, and happy hunting. Would you like help with a YouTube title, video tags, or description next? Or even a quick thumbnail idea? Let me know, and I'll help package this for success. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden value in coins you might have lying around right now. Rarest coins. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1967 Washington quarter, a coin that might look completely ordinary at first glance, but could be worth thousands, or in one mysterious case, reportedly as much as $1.6 million. That's right. A single 25-cent coin that could be worth more than a luxury home. Sounds unbelievable. Let's break down the history, the facts, the potential errors, and what makes some of these coins unbelievably valuable. You might just want to check your change after this. Let's start with a bit of background. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932. It was introduced as a one-year commemorative coin to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington, but it proved so popular that it became the standard quarter design moving forward. The obverse features a portrait of Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan, and for decades, the reverse showed a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings. Now fast forward to 1967. This was a special time in American coin history. Just a few years earlier, in 1965, the United States Mint stopped using 90% silver in most circulating coins, including quarters. Rising silver prices made it too expensive to continue. So coins made after 1964 were struck from a copper-nickel-clad composition instead of silver. That's a major turning point, and it makes the years right after 1964, like 1967, particularly interesting to collectors. Here's another important detail. From 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint didn't place mint marks on any coins. This was done to discourage coin hoarding during the transition from silver to base metals. That means your 1967 quarter won't have a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. Every 1967 quarter looks the same at first glance. In 1967 alone, the mint produced over 1.5 billion quarters. Yes, billion with a B. That includes coins from Philadelphia and Denver, even though you won't see mint marks. So you might be asking, how could any 1967 quarter possibly be rare or valuable? Great question. The answer lies in two key areas: condition and error coins. Let's talk about condition first. Most 1967 quarters you find today have been in circulation for decades. They're worn down, scratched up, and worth only face value. But if you somehow have a 1967 quarter in near-perfect condition, what collectors call mint state 67 or higher, it can be worth a lot of money. A flawless example graded MS67 or above by a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And if your coin has deep, reflective surfaces, it might even qualify as a special mint set coin, which we'll get to in a second. Now let's talk about errors. This is where things get really interesting. Mint errors are mistakes that happen during the coin production process. And sometimes, these errors make coins extremely rare and valuable. For the 1967 Washington quarter, the most valuable errors include double dies, off-center strikes, coins struck on wrong planchets, and full brockages. Double die errors happen when the coin design is stamped more than once, slightly misaligned, creating a doubling effect. On a 1967 quarter, doubling on the date, the word Liberty, or In God We Trust could increase its value significantly. Another error to look for is an off-center strike, where the coin wasn't aligned properly in the press. Depending on how far off it is, these can be worth anywhere from $50 to several $100s. Now here's the big one. Wrong planchet errors. In very rare cases, coins are struck on the wrong metal blank. For example, a 1967 quarter might have been accidentally struck on a silver dime planchet or a foreign coin blank. These are extremely rare and can be worth thousands. And then there's the alleged Holy Grail. Rumors in the numismatic community tell of a 1967 Washington quarter that sold for up to $1.6 million. While there's no official auction record confirming that price, it's believed to have been either an extraordinary mint error or a prototype coin, possibly struck in silver by mistake and somehow released into the wild. It could also have been part of a private transaction or connected to a famous collection that added to its value. In the world of rare coins, provenance, meaning the coin's ownership history, can make a huge difference. Let's not forget about the 1967 special mint set coins. These were produced in place of proof coins, which the mint didn't issue during 1965, 1966, and 1967. Special mint set quarters have a higher quality finish than circulation coins, but they're not quite proof coins either. If you have a 1967 quarter with a satin-like surface and minimal marks, you might be holding an SMS coin. In high grades, these can also fetch hundreds of dollars. So what should you do if you have a 1967 quarter? First, check the condition. If it's been heavily used, it's probably worth face value. But if it looks sharp, has minimal scratches, and maybe even has a brilliant shine, it's worth investigating. Next, check for errors. Look at the lettering, the date, the edge of the coin, and even the weight. A standard 1967 quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If it weighs significantly more or less, it could have been struck on the wrong planchet. And if you think you have something rare, don't guess. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Getting your coin certified can not only verify its authenticity, but can also significantly increase its value when you go to sell. Before we wrap up, let's review the top 5 most valuable features to look for in a 1967 Washington quarter. Number 1. Pristine condition, especially grades MS67 and higher. Number 2. Mint errors like double dies and off-center strikes. Number 3. Planchet errors. Look for unusual weight or color. Number 4. Special mint set coins with clean surfaces and satin finish. Number 5. Anything unusual, odd shapes, clipped planchets, missing elements, and who knows? Maybe you'll find the next million-dollar mystery coin. So, is it true that a 1967 quarter sold for $1.6 million? While the exact details remain unconfirmed, what is true is that coins from this year can be surprisingly valuable, and in rare cases, They can reach truly mind-blowing numbers. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, and hit subscribe for more deep dives into rare coins, money mysteries, and hidden treasures. Until next time, happy coin hunting, and always check your change. Would you like a video description, thumbnail text, or title ideas to go with this script? I'd be happy to help you package it all together for YouTube. Welcome back to the channel where we explore the hidden stories and surprising values behind the coins you use every day. Today's video could have you rushing to your coin jar, your wallet, or that forgotten drawer where you toss your change. We're talking about the 1995 D Washington quarter, a coin that has stunned collectors and stirred curiosity for years. Rarest coins, one particular 1995 D quarter is rumored to have sold for as much as $1.3 million. That's right, a single quarter that started off as 25 cents becoming a coin worth more than most sports cars, even luxury homes. So what's the truth behind the 1995 D Washington quarter? Is this just hype, or could you really be sitting on a fortune? Let's dive into the history, the minting details, and exactly what makes this coin potentially worth over $1 million. To understand why the 1995 D quarter is special, we first need to understand the Washington quarter series itself. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It quickly became a permanent part of American coinage, and its design stayed mostly the same for decades. On the obverse is Washington's profile, originally sculpted by John Flanagan. On the reverse, from 1932 through 1998, is an eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches beneath it. Now let's focus on 1995. This was near the end of the classic Washington quarter design era, just a few years before the 50-state quarters program would begin in 1999. The quarter struck in 1995 from the Denver Mint is marked with a small d under the motto, "In God We Trust." The Denver Mint produced more than 1 billion quarters that year. In fact, the total mintage for the 1995 D quarter is over 1.1 billion. That kind of number means the coin is very common in general. You can still find 1995 D quarters in circulation today, so the coin you hold in your hand might be worth only face value, unless it has something truly rare about it. And that's where the fun begins, the mystery of the $1.3 million 1995 D quarter revolves around a rare combination of condition, minting error, and possibly a unique production circumstance that makes it a one-of-a-kind coin. While there is no publicly confirmed auction record for a 1995 D quarter selling at that price, there are a few explanations for how a quarter from this year could become incredibly valuable. Let's talk about what you should be looking for. The first thing that matters is condition. A circulated 1995 D quarter that's been bouncing around in change for years probably isn't worth much more than 25 cents. But an uncirculated quarter that has never been touched, shows no scratches, and has its full mint luster might be worth much more. Coins in mint state condition, especially MS67 and higher, are much more scarce. If you have a 1995 D quarter graded MS68 or above by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, the value can skyrocket. In fact, 1995 D quarters in MS68 condition have sold for over $1,000. One extremely high-grade example with exceptional eye appeal was bid up at auction for over $5,000. Now imagine if that same coin also had a rare error. That's when things get truly valuable. Let's talk about those mint errors. Error coins are some of the most sought-after collectibles in the numismatic world. They're created by mistakes at the mint, and every error is different, which makes each one unique. Some of the most valuable errors found on 1995 D quarters include double die errors. These happen when the coin design is stamped twice by accident, with a slight shift. The doubling is usually visible on the lettering or the date. If you find a 1995 D quarter where Liberty or In God We Trust looks doubled, you could be looking at a very valuable coin. Off-center strikes. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly centered during minting. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin. Some off-center quarters can sell for hundreds of dollars, especially if the date is still visible. Wrong planchet errors. This is a big one. Imagine a 1995 D quarter that was struck on a blank mint for another coin, like a nickel or a foreign coin. These kinds of errors are rare but very real. If your quarter looks different in color, size, or weight, it might be struck on the wrong metal. This type of mistake can make the coin worth thousands, or possibly more. Clipped planchets. These are coins that were punched out from the metal sheet incorrectly, leaving a piece of the coin missing. These errors are noticeable and can be quite valuable depending on how clean and visible the clip is. Broad strikes and strike-throughs. These happen when coins are struck outside the retaining collar or when debris gets between the die and the blank, leaving a strange impression. These are also highly collectible. So, if the rumors are true and a 1995 D quarter did sell for $1.3 million, it would likely have had a combination of extreme condition, a once-in-a-lifetime error, and possibly historical significance, such as being a unique minting experiment or presentation piece. Let's say you're wondering if your 1995 D quarter could be the one. What should you do? Start by checking the coin's condition. If it looks worn, has scratches, or has lost its shine, it's probably just a common coin. But if it looks sharp, flawless, and uncirculated, it could be valuable. Use a magnifying glass and look closely at the details. Check for doubling, check for any off-center features, unusual shapes, or anything that seems off. Next, weigh the coin. A standard clad quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If it's noticeably lighter or heavier, it might be struck on the wrong planchet. If you find something suspicious or promising, the next step is to have your coin graded and authenticated by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They'll examine it under expert conditions and assign a grade that will help determine its value. So to answer the big question, could a 1995 D quarter really be worth $1.3 million? While it's incredibly rare and still unconfirmed in public records, coins with historic errors, perfect conditions, or unique characteristics have sold for seven figures before. And in the collector world, especially in private sales, anything is possible. It only takes one wealthy collector and one-of-a-kind coin. Until then, keep your eyes open. Every rare coin started out as just another piece of pocket change. You never know what kind of treasure might be sitting in your own collection. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, leave a comment if you've got a 1995 D quarter of your own, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more incredible stories about valuable coins and how to find them. Stay curious, check your change, and as always, happy coin hunting. Would you like a catchy title, thumbnail idea, or video description to go along with this? Let me know, and I'll help you fully prep your video for upload. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden stories and massive values behind ordinary-looking coins. Today's topic is going to surprise you. We're talking about the 1989 D Washington quarter. You've probably seen this coin before. You might even have one in your pocket or piggy bank right now. But here's the shocking part. One 1989 D quarter is rumored to have sold for as much as $1.2 million. That's right, a 25-cent coin reaching a value most people associate with luxury homes and sports cars. So what's the story behind this coin? Is this just a myth? Or is there real value hiding in this common quarter? Let's get into the history, the details, the rare errors, and everything you need to know about the 1989 D Washington quarter. To start, let's look at where this coin fits in American coin history. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The design was created by John Flanagan, and it became a permanent part of the U.S. coin series. The obverse features a profile of Washington, while the reverse from 1932 to 1998 shows an eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. The 1989 D quarter was struck at the Denver Mint. You'll know it's from Denver because of the small D mint mark located to the right of Washington's ponytail, just above the date. The Denver Mint produced over 896 million of these coins. That means the 1989 D quarter is generally considered common, and millions of them are still in circulation today. But as with any coin, not all were created equal. Some left the mint with errors. Others have survived in pristine condition. And a few, maybe just one, stand out as truly one-of-a-kind, worth serious money. So what makes a 1989 D quarter worth $1.20 million? Let's explore the three main reasons a coin like this could reach such an incredible value: condition, rarity, and mint errors. First up, condition. Most quarters from 1989 are worn out from years of use. You'll see scratches, faded details, and lost luster. These are worth face value. But a few coins were saved in perfect condition, untouched, uncirculated, and preserved for decades. When these coins are professionally graded and certified as Mint State 67, 68, or higher, their value goes way up. To give you an idea, a 1989 D Washington quarter graded MS-67 can sell for several $100s. In MS-68, that price jumps even higher. These high-grade coins are extremely rare because they had to survive the entire minting and handling process without a single flaw. But high-grade alone won't make a coin worth over $1 million. That brings us to the next factor, mint errors. Some of the most valuable coins in history are the result of minting mistakes. They were struck on the wrong type of blank, or misaligned, or double-stamped, or struck with dies intended for other coins. These errors are not only rare, they're unique. With the 1989 D quarter, the rumors of $1 million price tag likely come from a coin that had a rare error combined with perfect condition. Imagine a 1989 D quarter that was accidentally struck on a silver planchet left over from the 1964 era, or a coin that was double struck, off-center, or struck through grease or foreign material. There have been confirmed cases of quarters struck on dime planchets, foreign coin blanks, and even experimental materials. If one of those mistakes happened in 1989 and the coin survived in flawless condition, it could absolutely command 6 or even 7 figures at auction. Now let's talk about rarity. Every coin collector wants what nobody else has. A coin that's truly one of a kind becomes a trophy piece. Even without an error, if a coin is the highest graded example known to exist for that year and mint, collectors will pay top dollar. And if it combines that top grade with a dramatic, visual error, now you've got something that could be worth over $1 million while there's no publicly verified record of a 1989 D quarter selling for $1.2 million. In the private collector market, that kind of sale is very possible. Many multi-million-dollar coins change hands in private sales and don't show up on auction sites. Sometimes the story isn't revealed for years. So what should you be looking for if you have a 1989 D quarter? Start with the basics. Look at the condition. If it's shiny, sharp, and looks brand new, you could have something valuable. Use a magnifying glass to check for details. Look closely at the letters, the date, and the edges. Check for doubling, missing features, or anything that looks unusual. Next, weigh the coin. A regular 1989 D quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If yours weighs more or less, it could be struck on the wrong metal. That could mean big money. And most importantly, if you think you've found something rare, don't guess. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate, grade, and encapsulate the coin. That one step can turn your mystery coin into a verified investment. Here are the top 5 things to look for on your 1989 D quarter. Number 1. Uncirculated or mint condition. No scratches, no wear, original luster. Number 2. Visible mint errors like doubling, off-center strikes, or die breaks. Number 3. Unusual weight or color, possibly indicating the wrong planchet. Number 4. Coins with sharp strike and no contact marks, possibly high MS grades. Number 5. Anything that looks different from a regular quarter. Trust your eyes. So, could your 1989 D Washington quarter really be worth $1.2 million? It's unlikely, but not impossible. Every $1 million coin started as a common one. And when rare errors, high grades, and collector demand come together, incredible things can happen. If nothing else, this should remind all of us to pay closer attention to the coins we use every day. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more stories about rare coins, valuable currency, and hidden treasures that might be sitting in your pocket right now. Leave a comment if you've ever found a strange-looking quarter or want help checking yours. Until next time, happy coin hunting and always check your change. Let me know if you'd like help writing the video title, thumbnail text, or YouTube description to go with this script. I can help you package it for better reach and viewer engagement.